Welcome ladies and gentlemen, and today we're testing out a special knife from the Dutch Special Forces. The Hill Knives SOK. We don't actually know if it's being used by the Special Forces or not, or by any military unit. But this is what we were told time and time again, the Hill Knives SOK. And our first opinion about it is that it feels like an absolute knife. Is that true, Martin?
It feels like plastic.
You know what this knife makes me think of? 15 years ago, I developed a character called Skirre Henkie, which translates to poor Hank. It looks a little something like this. So today we're traveling back in time.
Skirre Henkie!
Let's go to the first test, man. Huh?
Oh no.
Yeah. Look, ladies and gentlemen, 287 is what we call extremely dull, like we say in the Netherlands, bot. Nee, dit is tyfusbot.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is actually terrible. This gets like a 3 out of 10.
Mikkie,
you know
and this,
what?
I gotta say, these knives are handmade. These knives are handmade. It's not a factory knife, these are handmade. So why is it that dull?
They have an official report about this knife, which was tested by a couple of special forces units and survival experts back in the 90s.
Yeah.
1995,
like,
and they still show this report. And one of the things they say in the report is that this knife can cut branches and bush tucker for hours and still easily skin an animal. But the problem is, it is already dull before it even does that.
Yeah.
First issue with this knife was that we were genuinely worried it was far too brittle to baton wood. But we had to go anyway, because we had to. It puts on pretty well. And it feels like it has this front heaviness, which causes the knife to actually be a kind of a okay chopper. But before I dare to chop any harder, godverdomme. Okay, said before I dare to chop any harder, I want to open the handle because it feels so flimsy and weak that I'm actually afraid that this knife will break.
This video is sponsored by Ekuli. And no, it's not just a shower.
Meet the Ekuli Camper Kit, the ultimate all-in-one gadget for every adventure. With over 11 magnetic accessories, the all-in-one design camper kit is perfect for your camp life, van life, or any minimalist traveler. Hanging in your tent or hammock as a light.
Hello. Good night.
So I actually use this fan in my storage container for when it's hot. I'm just magnetizing this. Boop. But you're cold. Let's switch to the arc lighter. But you're impatient, no problem. Let's blow some air.
Order your Ekuli Camper Kit now on their official website with the link in our description and complete your camping kit, yeah. Wow. So this is the knife.
Okay, but I gotta say the tang is sturdier than I expected. Is it full tang? No. But it is not something that I think would break very easily.
Yeah, but I'm just very afraid that the plastic will break, Martin, if I chop hard. It's raining. So the report says, de messen vallen door reeds genoemde verschillende positieve eigenschappen op en steken met kop en schouder uit boven het reeds grote bestaande assortiment van overlevingsmessen. Basically this translates into that the knife is way better because of the positive aspects of the knife than all of the competition of other knives in the survival world. Well, I'm just gonna say that that is already plainly not true.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this was compared to survival knives now or the survival knives in 1995. 30 years ago. 30 years ago. This knife would be pretty good in N690 steel. 30 years later, it's pretty crap. Let's start making a fetish. Oh no.
Fetish sticking is terrible. It's like a combination of a very big angle and terrible sharpness.
I didn't even want to make a negative review about our own national knife, Martin. But really,
Dutch pride.
really, is this what we are representing in the knife world? Isn't it fairly handy that a survival knife can make a really nice feather stick? Wouldn't that be really handy?
It's just plain dull, man.
Oh my god.
This knife has been stuck in 1995.
Now let's compare it to a way bigger knife, the Hill Knives Modern Bowie, which Martin said he's used a lot already. Now you might be saying, hey, but that knife, the Hill Knives Modern Bowie, is about, what is it, $650, Martin?
Yeah, something like that.
This knife is 450 euros.
35.
Sorry?
35.
435 euros. Oh, that's actually a really good deal. So now I gotta make some fire in the rain, and I'm just gonna say that that might just be downright impossible. I am by no means at all a survival expert, yeah? The only thing I have is a Bushcraft channel for fun with my best friend. And we've tested hundreds of knives. So what we know and what our skill set is love making with each other. And I can tell you one thing. A survival knife that does not scrape a fire steel.
And
cannot make a feather stick.
Mikkie, and in the army they actually use fire steels.
That cannot make a decent point on a stick. You cannot tell me that that is, according to the report, by far better than its competitors. So I'm gonna time it and see how long it takes for us to fix this knife. Start. Done. So actually I had to wait for Martin a little bit to put the camera on. 8 minutes and 54 seconds.
Yeah, and you had to change for to new bell.
Yeah.
So I would say that's 8 minutes.
I've got some very interesting discoveries, but first let me just grab out a strop. So the DPK black and white compound, available at the dpkshop.com. With sharpening, you can see how the steel reacts to the belts or to the stones that you're using. And actually, I think that this steel has been heat treated pretty well because of how the belts got rid of that steel.
Boom!
Okay, so that might be a little too sharp.
That's how we like it.
Yeah.
Boom! Yeah, that's looking way better, Mikkie. Boom.
Suddenly that is possible. It's a whole new skill unlocked in the knife itself. Let's make it more survival. I got this tinder here, the feather sticks, but this knife just got a whole new use. In that 8.5 minutes that I get that fire steel scraping. You see that?
Wow, also in 8 minutes.
In those same 8.5 minutes. The first time I used a Lightman fire steel for the shot. God almighty. I'm going to show you an extra use case that this knife gained. For people who have known this channel for a long time know what I'm talking about. I am in the search of fat wood. That's the whole magic of this spine. And fat wood, so that even when it rains, this probably will light and have more fuel than regular wood.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 fire steel scrape.
Boom. The power of fat wood.
Now put the fat wood on. Put the smaller wood on. So that 8.5 minutes is the difference between a knife that is absolutely unable to make a fire and a knife. Oh, heel makkelijk vuurtje kan maken.
Body slam! So let's see how it reacts to 1 or 2 cuts on the rope. 1 cut.
Whoa, oh, that's not good.
So,
That's not good.
question remains, how good is the heat treatment actually? Maybe it's just specialized on or optimized for toughness. We'll see. Mikkie, digging. Yeah, digging. This knife is for digging. That's what they say. In stone or in rock-littered dirt. So we don't have that in the Netherlands because we have no stones in the Netherlands. We have to buy stones when we want stones.
Yeah.
So yeah, small chips. Not too bad, but they are chips.
Now,
Next,
they said wire cutting. Oh,
wire cutting. Well, I think they mean barbed wire, isn't it? Is that so, Mikkie? Okay, Mikkie, I gotta say, I'm impressed. Look. What's the damage? Still the same. A nice little metal stove.
So something broke.
Yeah, the tip.
Oh really?
Yeah, okay, but
Okay.
also gotta say, it's not unexpected because it's heat treated N690, which is like a VG10. It's a pretty thin tip.
But otherwise, just put the tip in there. Try to bend the tip. Wow, that is really... Wow, that actually surprises me.
Yeah, me too.
Because... Whoa, huh?
Because I thought this, it doesn't really have the good edge retention.
Also not for N690 steel.
So the edge is pretty tough, but then the tip is not really flexible. I mean, it's a thin tip. It is N690. I expect it to break, but not that easy actually.
Okay, you know what? I've got a lot of things to say about this knife.
Yeah, let's go to the conclusion because we just destroyed 435 euros of our own money.
So yeah, we got to give a big giveaway, man.
Hey, it's the last week that you can. It's the last day that you can join this giveaway. We are giving away a Falcon F1 Pro thanks to DBK, a Falcon A1 Pro thanks to DBK, a Benchmade Freak and a Mini Freak thanks to Benchmade, a Half-Breed Blades LIK Generation 2 thanks to Half-Breed Blades, 2 times a Midgard's cooking folder thanks to Tools for Gents, 2 times a BPS 2.0 thanks to BPS and DBK, 2 times a With Armor Ripper thanks to With Armor, and a Woburn E7 and G5 flashlight thanks to Woburn. That's a darn big giveaway.
The Hill Knife SOK.
Special operations knife. Well, we did some very special operations today.
The fact that this knife performed so well after just an 8.5 minute, revamp of the knife, basically, I think it shows a lot of what they could have done in 8.5 minutes.
The biggest thing that we now have, with this knife, is it has much more potential than it shows out of the box, and it's mainly because of the poor effort on the grind.
Can I just say some positives about the knife?
Sure.
Because I think I've been negative Nancy for long enough now, and I have to say that the handle held up way better than I expected. It hasn't even loosened, and I cannot say that about a lot of handles in the knife world.
True.
The steel wasn't actually that bad. You know? The design and the balance was not bad at all. I liked it for chopping a lot.
And it's very light.
Negative Nancy returns.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say, for this price, we have experienced N690 in a way better version than this knife has. I thought the steel prioritized toughness more than edge holding.
Yeah.
But in the end, it let me down a little bit with toughness too, because it also had microchips.
Yeah, so
well, I would have liked to have. I would have liked to see the knife roll.
Yeah.
I just think it's a absolute no-go. You sell a knife for this price and this steel.
Mikkie, the tip breaking, it's not even an issue. It's N690, it's like VG10. VG10 steel would also break the tip. The balance of the steel, it's not where it could be.
Can I just point out that for half this price, more than half this price, you get a Valknieven A1. The Valknieven A1 is twice what this knife is trying to be.
And if you're willing to pay the same price, you have the Extrema Ratio, which is also a military style knife that does everything the way we would like it to do. Is it a bad knife? No. Do we recommend it for this money? No.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Gotta save the camera.
Breaking. See you later. Thank you very much for watching. Hey, ik zie jullie volgende week weer. En als je het leuk vindt, dan moet je even lekker subscriben. En even de video liken en even commentjes te laten. En volgens mij moet de camera al lang uit de regen. Nou, hebben jullie eindelijk een keer bij Nederlands horen praten. Yo, later.